28 days to lose 20 pounds. Can a regular guy really lose this much weight in 4 weeks? Join me in my journey to see if it is possible. Week 1 and week 2 diaries have been added and the audio walkthrough has been updated. This is my weight loss challenge. Join me in my journey in aiming to lose 28 pounds in just 20 days. I've got 3 simple steps. 1. Exercise. 2. Eat on a regular basis but with a reduced calorie intake. 3. Rest. In this I'm going to show you that there's no products on sale, no sales pitch, no magic diet pills, and I'm not going to the gym. To give you a brief introduction, I'm a regular male, 5'10", full-time employed, dad of 2 kids. My last weigh-in on the 12th of July was over 99 kilograms, which translates into 218.3 pounds. Enough was enough. I sat down and worked out how much weight I thought I could attempt to lose in 4 weeks, around my full-time job and without having to buy expensive equipment or going near a gym. Week 1, my start weight was 218.3 pounds, as you can see from the picture. Why did I weigh this much? There was no excuses. I ballooned to this size as I wasn't taking notice of the calories that I was consuming on a daily basis. I enjoyed convenient snacks in my 4-hour travel back and forward to work. I didn't exercise anywhere near enough for the weight I thought I was, never mind the actual weight that I was. I kept putting off exercising. The biggest thing again was I wasn't getting enough rest. Before I started, I fully planned ahead. Even though I set myself a big goal, I wanted to put some science behind it. So what I knew is that to lose 1 pound of fat, I need a 3,500 calorie deficit. So normally to lose a pound in a week's time, you need a calorie deficit of 500 calories per day times 7 days gives you a total of 3,500 calorie reduction for the week, which would equate to a 1 pound weight loss. So to lose 5 pounds in a week, this will take 5 times the effort. This means my target, I know, is huge. Exercise will be pivotal for me to actually achieve my goal. It requires a huge increase in the amount of exercise I'm currently doing, but again, there'll be no gym and no fancy equipment used. I must also follow a calorie food intake reduction, crucial, and I'm going to target to get just over 8 hours sleep a day. So the actual math behind my goal is 1. I set a burning calorie deficit target of 1250 calories a day via exercise every day. I set a reducing food intake by 20%, so instead of consuming 2,500 calories, I'm going to try and achieve 2,000 calories, which will be a 20% reduction. The third and final step would be to achieve 8 hours and 50 minutes sleep a night. This will burn, for my size, roughly 750 calories per night. If you go ahead and add in steps 1, 2 and 3, 1250 plus 750 equals 2,000 calories. With the deficit for number 3 would be 2,500 calorie deficit a day times 28 days is a total of 70,000 calorie deficit across a 4-week period, and that divided by the magic number for 3,500 calories per pound weight loss should tell me that I should get a total weight loss of 20 pounds. Just so everyone's aware, I'm not a medical or nutritional expert. These are my plans based on what I know my body can handle. My weight target is what I weighed 12 months ago, so it's realistic for me to achieve this goal. Anyone else seeking to lose weight or gain weight should look to their doctor and get some medical advice before they begin any weight loss or weight gain plan. So here's my 4-week plan overview. Week 1 target is to go from 218.3 down to 213.3, which is a 5 pound weight reduction. The following week, week 2 target is to get down to 208.3, which is a 10 pound rolling reduction and a 5 pound week on week reduction. Week 3, same thing, 203.3 pounds, going for a 15 pound rolling reduction. And week 4, my final target is to achieve a weight of 198.3, which over the 4-week period give me a 20 pound rolling reduction. This might change slightly week to week. One might be high, one week might be low, but the idea is to hit these targets as close as possible. The key factors in getting there will be checking the calories burned every day. if I make a small mistake on achieving my daily target, it'll have a major dent in my overall progress. Calibration. What I mean by calibration is it's okay for a magazine or journal to say this is how many calories are going to be burned for someone my size or whatever, but what I'm going to do is put my full faith in my phone pedometer. It has a calorie burn function, and I input my weight, size, height, age, everything. So I'm going to basically put all my eggs in one basket and believe in that. Checking calorie intake. For me, this is also extremely important that I keep a perfect diary of food consumed on a daily basis, as this is going to be a huge step in achieving my target. The third point I made before was rest. Accurately recording the sleep is going to be very key in me achieving a high calorie exercise, a calorie deficit on my foods, and sleep. The three combined are massive. I'm aware that week 1 should show the most weight loss, so I'm hoping to lose just over £5 that week and increase exercise burned if that target fails. What do I need before I start? A mobile phone with an internal pedometer. Doesn't matter which phone, doesn't matter which pedometer. A free exercise and diary app. I say free because there's hundreds out there. I personally use Google Fit for exercise and I use Samsung Health for food diary just because it's what I've used before. And the last and final thing is just to put this into action, which sounds easy. The week 1 planned calorie schedule. This is the basic template I use on a daily basis and helps me guide me through the week. So rather than every day waking up and trying to just achieve a 2,500 calorie deficit, this is how I go about it. So you see before that target 1 was my exercise burned, was 1,250 calories per day. My target calorie reduction, so instead of eating 2,500 calories, I plan to eat 2,000 calories, so that's a 500 calorie deficit. And last, number 3 in the list is targeting 8 hours 50 minutes sleep a night, which for a man my size, as I said before, should give me a 750 calorie burn. Adding these 3 together should give me a calorie deficit of 2,500 calories per day, which is exactly the same for every day of the week, totaling at the end 17,500 calorie deficit. That is a magic number to achieve £5 weight loss in a week's time. What I've done here as well is I've highlighted the Tuesday, the 14th of July, because that's something that I'll show you in more detail later on. So that was for the planned. Let's look at the actual calorie schedule. This is what I've filled in based on my records from my Samsung Health app, my Google Fit, and my sleep. So you'll see here the same target. You'll see that if we start with the target steps against actual steps, you'll see that on a daily basis, basically I hit my target apart from the Wednesday. Which means that I had quite a good step count for the week. It was actually over my step count. That I was looking for 105,000 and actually managed to do 110,000, just shy of 111,000 to be honest. Here you'll see that my calorie burned on the stairs was quite high. I was looking for anywhere between half an hour and an hour, and I managed to get most days 35 to 50 minutes. This helped me to get a total calorie burned close to my target of 1,250. Now you'll see here that I only managed to go above my target once, and most of the days I'm just slightly behind. You also see that for my target calorie reduction, I was aiming for 500 calories, so to eat 2,000 calories, and what was happening, I was just eating slightly less than that. So I actually ended up with an increased reduction. So I was up at 791 for day 1, and this got better by the Saturday, but then was worse by the Monday, Tuesday. So that means that I overshot my calorie deficit, which is not a good thing. And the last target was to achieve 5.5 hours of sleep was what I actually was getting instead of my target of 8 hours 50 minutes. So instead of having 750 calories burned for sleeping, I was only achieving 500 for the first night. So across the week period you'll see that that's actually a negative variation as well. Instead of being 5,250 burned for sleeping, I only managed to achieve 3,500. But because I managed to overachieve my walking and with mainly, to be honest, the calorie deficit being higher than it should have been, then I managed to for the first week record a total loss of 17,871 calories, which should equate to just over £5, 5.1, 5.2 pounds before weigh-in. And what I'm going to do here is show you that on Tuesday in detail, how I went about filling that in. So the first thing you'll see is that I put a lot of effort and calories burned about stair climbing, and how I managed to get that value is quite important. First of all, a lot of this exercise was done before, during, and after work, so I actually split my stair climbing into different sections, so across a full day period. Basically, I was managed to sneak in 8 climbs. It would be better if I could get this done in one taking or one sitting, but I've got a full-time job, it's difficult, so I've split this across the entire day, just because it's easier and doesn't impact my work, and I still get the calorie benefit. Yes, I would burn more calories if I did it all in one sitting, but such is life. So here, I've got 8 different climbs, which totals 41 minutes and 43 seconds. I've got a calorie count of 414, so this is where this value here came from. How did I record this? Well, basically, my pedometer clicks my stair count. I have to name it myself, so you see the names aren't exactly the same, but you'll see I've got 10 minutes and 45 seconds recorded in the morning. I've got 1,081 steps recorded for my stair climb. That's climb 1. Second one's climb 5, and the last one's climb 6. Then that's shown here as a snapshot, just to show you this is where the values came from. So it was important to have these all shown in the table, a little snapshot of how I recorded that in my pedometer and how I came about these figures. So target calorie reduction is the next thing. My calorie reduction is important for everyone. As a male, I should normally consume 2,500 calories. To assist losing weight, I wanted to make sure I was closer to 2,000 calories per day, which would give me a deficit of 500 calories. In actual fact, when recording my meals throughout the day, I was eating 6 meals. My total deficit went from recommended 2,500 for a normal healthy male, minus my actual calorie count here, which I've shown you a snapshot of the diary of the 6 meals. Today is the 1553. That gave my total intake reduction of 947. This isn't ideal. It helps me, but it's not ideal. This is almost going into starvation mode. So I don't want to do this. I want to really pick up for week 2. I want to be close to my target of 500 as possible. You'll see that with the first few days in my diary, I was closer to 699, 700 calories. So I need to get as close to that 500 as possible. Time for the weigh-in. My start weight was 218.3. And when I weighed in, I was expecting to be above £5, and I was 212.9, which in total was £5.4 weight loss for week 1. So let's review this week. Yep, I hit my step count, but I failed on my target burned, which has helped a lot with my calorie intake reduction being so high. I really need to address that week 2, otherwise it's going to give me a false positive for showing the weight loss. It's because I've just not eaten enough. So I hit my target weight loss, which is a positive. I missed my target exercise burn by 700 calories. I need to make sure that happens for week 2. Stair climbing was a massive part of my target. This will play a bigger role for week 2. So I'm going to try and get that step count up from 55 minutes to over an hour. And overreaching calorie intake reduction, I'm stressing this again, I need to get this close to 500 calories as possible. An overview of week 1 target complete. Week 2 target has started, the results are pending, but they're not, they're actually right here. Week 2 again, I'll show you my calorie schedule for the week. Exactly the same as week 1, but for week 2 it's the same setup. Target steps is 15,000. 1250 calories burned per day, 500 calorie reduction, 750 for sleep, and a total of 2,500. Again, the same target for calorie deficit for the end of the week, 17,500. The only difference this week, I want to make sure that I'm as close to these figures as possible, closer to my exercise burned, closer to my calorie deficit. It's a big one for this week, and closer to my sleep count. So let's look at week 2 actual. So right here you'll see that I've a few days I've hit my target, which is Thursday and Monday, Tuesday. Tuesday I was over 6,000 higher, But across the whole week, including my Wednesday, I was massively down on my step count. So I've actually put Wednesday as being my crux day. I've actually missed my target step count. I missed my calorie, my steps going up and down stairs. I've missed my calorie burn total by 752, and I also made that whole day my target for 2,500 calorie deficit was actually down at 1,725. Every other day was closer to target, but that one day alone will have a huge impact to my week. So you'll see here I'm a lot closer to my target calorie intake reduction, which I'm happy about. This was nearly 1,000 last week. This is much closer to 500. I'm going to make sure next week it's up to at least 500, and even if it goes down to as low as 200 or 300, it doesn't matter, because my time that I spent going up and down stairs is increased massively for the 5-6 days that I managed to hit my targets. Wednesday is going to be my crunch day. That is going to be my painful day. I have too many meetings scheduled on Wednesday, so this target is not going to improve much. I might be able to get a step count up at night time, but I'm normally early start, late finish, and take work home with me on Wednesday, so that's always going to be my pivotal day. So just purely from filling in my week diary for week 2, I realised that I was below my schedule, so I'm likely to be a lot lower weight loss this week. So look out for my workout review. As I discussed briefly there, my actual step count was too low. My exercise burned was too low. My calorie intake was bang on the money almost. I was only 18 calories, which is phenomenal considering last week I was up at nearly 1,000. And that's a real positive for me. But because of this Wednesday, I'm way below my target. This is a knock-on effect to my weekly total. So my total is down from 105,000 steps down to just 96,000. Huge shortfall. Total exercise burned was meant to be 8,750. That's below 8,000. My calorie deficit is still higher than it should be, but it's getting much closer, as that example can show, to the actual target weight. So I'm happy I'm not in starvation mode or getting close to starvation mode or losing too much weight through not eating enough. I'm happy I'm feeding my body enough. My sleep count is getting better. I'm still not getting quite the 5,250 calories per night, but I'm getting closer. I'm getting up to nearly 4,000 now. But my impact is for the whole week. I'm more down at 16,669. The fact that 666 is there is quite momentous. So for me, just to review, with such high weight loss targets, missing just one day of targets leads to a massive difference on my target calories being burned. This means that the weekly target I've shown down below, I've missed by a total of 831 calories, meaning £5 won't be possible at all. I know that before the start, but I'm expecting it between 4.5 to 4.9 pounds if this diary is accurate. To keep in track week 3, I really need to make sure that I hit every kilometre target, that I hit every burn calorie target, and I hit every sleep target. So week 2 start weight was 212.9 pounds, as per the picture, and my finish weight was 208.3. So this means it was a weight loss of just 4.6 pounds week on week, but that combined with last week's 5.4 pound weight loss means that the total weight loss for the 2-week period is 10 pounds. So I've hit my 2-week target spot on, despite having a poor second week. So I'll look at this in review. I missed out my £5, but I was still on track for the 2-week weight loss. So this is a huge positive, even though it was week 2 can be considered as a bad week. I missed my target burn for the second week in a row. You'll see here again, it's 7,938 instead of 8,750. So I really need to focus this into week 3. Stair climbing here was massive. I was over an hour for most days. I really need to keep stair climbing going as a massive part of my weight loss campaign. I'm very close in my intake reduction. So this is far closer to the 500 calorie reduction. You see 518, 525, 563, 619. So this is far closer to my target than I achieved in week 1. So this is a massive improvement for week 2. So week 1 target is complete. Week 2 target was missed, but fortunately for me, the 2-week target is spot on. and week 3 results are pending. If anyone finds this interesting, please hit the subscribe button below and join me next week for next week's challenge and future updates. Thanks.